Hello and welcome along to the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. I'm Terry Allen, glad to have you accompanying for the Mitsubishi Challenge in 1994. Tonight we're coming to you from the Newcastle Entertainment Centre, where we see the the second home game of the season, the fourth game of the season for the Newcastle Falcons. And boy, they really have had an unexpected turnabout this season. They finished fifth last year, and many people thought they'd go on to bigger and better things, including myself. But tonight, their opponents, Geelong Supercats. The Falcons, they've lost 3 out of 3, and they've been dead unlucky, I can tell you. And the Geelong Supercats, having taken the wooden spoon, are now right up there in about 8th position, so they really are playing well, and it should be a cracker of a game. They've already met once this year, and like I said, it's only the 4th game of the year for the Falcons, but the Geelong Supercats have already beaten them once. And more about their lineups in just a minute. Back in the hot seat again, Greg Hendricks. How do you see this one going?
I'm really looking forward to the game because I like to see teams play under pressure, and Newcastle sure are under pressure tonight. It's not that they've played badly, certainly they'd easily have beaten the Adelaide Sixers and Melbourne, so their form is not that bad. They just haven't been able to finish off, and of course they'll be out for revenge because Geelong did beat them. A very important win for Geelong. They've won a couple, so they do know how to get across the line. I think it'll be interesting, and Everett Stevens is a man to be shut down, and I think the Falcons might be able to do it. I think they'll bounce back tonight after a couple of weeks off.
Well, Everett Stevens probably the key to it, to the Newcastle Falcons, as we go to the starting fives. Just have a look at those. We see for the Falcons the pocket rocket, Derek Rucker. Also number 5 in coming on tonight, starting the game, Michael Johnson. We have Grant Kruger in number 11, Terry Dozier, the captain, in 35, and 00 in the centre, Paul Kuiper. Now here we go. Everett Stevens with the Falcons last year. He's left. He's gone to the Supercats, and he's really come out firing. We have Vince Hinchin there, Cecil Exum, Adrian Branch, and Ray Borner, the boomer.
Well, I think the benches here tonight, particularly Newcastle, are going to have a fair bit to do with this game. Tony Jensen, he's a live wire in singlet number 9. Sean Dennis won't play a lot. Marty McLean, he can really get up and down the court. Alexander, a big man, and so too is Simpson. They'll all need to come out and really do a big defensive job. Justin Cass is a very tidy player, nice outside shooter. Jason Joins, another ex-Newcastle lad, returning here tonight. There's Lenarden, Curl, and Isles. That's the lineup for the Supercats. I think the Falcons might just have it on the bench.
And as the national anthem concludes here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre, a very good evening to you. The referees for tonight, John Payne, Roger Shields, and Kevin Marsh. And a capacity crowd, Greg, in for what should be a tremendous game. Falcons, Geelong Supercats.
Very knowledgeable sporting crowds, aren't they, in Newcastle? And they know even this early in the season it's a game that the Falcons simply must win because they've got many tougher opponents than this to come along. I'm not sledging the Geelong Supercats, but I think most people around the league would concede they're not going to be there come playoff time. But everyone expects, I think, that the Falcons will, and now's the time they've really got to get after it. It's interesting too, isn't it, Terry, that they've had a couple of weeks off, total of 2 weeks off. They had the bye last week, and I know the guys got out and had a game of golf, and they're hoping that might help turn things around. And I can tell you that team manager Dennis Kibble is certainly hoping that's the case because he'd like to go out instead of going to training playing golf every week. So he'll be hoping that they do have a big game coming off a round of golf during the week.
Well, I certainly hope they find the hole tonight better than Dennis Kibble's putter. And look at that, the jumper from Terry Dozier to start. Now that is different, isn't it, from last time we were here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre against the Adelaide Sixers. The Falcons were 9-0 down in the opening couple of minutes, and immediately 1 shot out of 1 shot. So that's a tremendous start for the Falcons. But just getting back to what you were saying about Geelong not really being figured in finals, there is a real evening up amongst all teams this year. You just cannot pick which teams are going to be there and which are not. It's so close.
Now, they've certainly got some talent out there, haven't they? The Australian centre in Ray Borner, the ex-NBA star, number 24, Adrian Branch from the LA Lakers, and of course, Everett Stevens, who's also had some NBA experience, and he was with the Falcons for a couple of years there and did a mighty job for them. They went looking for Derek Rucker, so the clash between those two is going to be a real classic as they put up a shot, but it doesn't go down.
And here he comes, the man himself, Derek Rucker, MVP with the Brisbane Bullets in 1990. Terry Dozier tries it again, and it's in. Well, Derek Rucker and Everett Stevens, this is a tremendous, tremendous matchup. A lot of people were wondering, oh, what a great tap in there from Ray Borner. Just grabs it and slots it back in again. Plenty of experience there from the big boomer. 15 for the Geelong Supercats. Now these two, a lot of people were saying, is Derek as good as Everett? How did they match up? And really seeing them on the court together should answer that question for us tonight.
pretty interesting defense too from three. That's Paul Kruger getting into the act. And there's plenty of defensive pressure out here. They've obviously been working on that. They go up the Falcons, but it's broken pretty comfortably. And Ray Borner shoots one, comes up short over the back, and they're after it now through Derek Rucker.
Well, if the Falcons press releases are to be believed, they've had some pretty heavy workouts. Some heavy D, and it couldn't stop Grant Kruger going to the bucket. There he is, the man. He's shaved and he's ready. And again, the assist from Derek Rucker, who really is right up there in the NBL with assists.
That's a blistering start from the Falcons. 4 from 4, and they really go in and make it very, very tough there.
Now there is Cecil Exum has been fouled. And the man who scored.
Let's get a shot. We're right on it. Cameron's doing a good job. And so is our director. He's hurt, and knee trouble is the worst kind of trouble. As we see the replay there, Grant Kruger going in, and he's come down hard on his knee. He is in a lot of trouble sideline, and in fact the coach of the Geelong Supercats, Jim Calvin, is over there helping him out, and it looks as though he may have, well, he's done some serious damage there.
I think actually
some sort of dislocation. He's in a lot of pain as he goes by us now, and he's also received a cut to the knee, but I don't think it's the external problem that's concerning the Falcons bench as he comes down with the assistance of some of the handlers here.
Well, that is a tremendous blow for the Newcastle Falcons. I mean, especially a player who, on the starting 5, has done some serious damage. There will be stitches. And we just hope that there's nothing snapped in the knee as well.
Couldn't make either of those shots, Cecil Exum, so he'll be disappointed, but not half as Grant Kruger. And we actually saw Grant Kruger, the bench, the Newcastle bench was right next to our commentary position. He looked down at his knee and he could see that it was disfigured. He's in a lot of trouble as Derek Rucker makes an amazing assist. And 5 from 5, the Falcons. They have shot at 100% and they are out 10-2. And this is entirely new Falcons we're seeing here right now after the 2-week layoff. Let's look at that assist from Derek Rucker. Well, he's leading the league. He has 12 per game, and that was a classic.
It certainly was. Derek Rucker is one of the most tremendous dynamic players in the league. But it's not just for his scoring ability, although goodness knows he can score plenty of points. He makes the others play well as well.
Cecil Exum doing a job inside there. He's a good inside-outside man. Went hard to the basket to make it 10-4. Newcastle leading the way early. Mike Johnson, can he keep that 100% record going? He can. They haven't missed a shot, the Falcons. 6 from 6.
That's absolutely tremendous. The Newcastle Falcons shooting 44 from the field, and Geelong way down tonight. That percentage is just way down. Derek Rucker goes right to the bucket.
They make it 7 from 7. It's miracle stuff. And they go hard to the basket, and Jim Calvin, the Geelong coach, says, let's talk this over. We need some D out of you guys. They're walking around us as we see Derek Rucker. He just strolls to the basket. Magnificent stuff. And it's 14-4, Newcastle over Geelong.
8:45 left in the first quarter. And Tom Wisman must be very happy with his charges at the moment. Plenty of work to go. Plenty of time left in the game too. 14-4, the Falcons.
Well, let's see whether we can join Tom Wisman in the huddle. He's being found out there. We'll forget that. We'll just reflect on for a moment on that dreadful injury in the 2nd minute of the game to Grant Kruger, one of the real young guns of the league. He's out now. I don't think we're going to see him for some weeks. Just a feeling you get when you see an injury like that. He looked down. He was distressed. We could actually see physically that he was in a lot of trouble when we had a look at that knee. So we'll try and get a report at quarter time for you. But that's going to hurt them in this game because they've got guys like Ray Borner who'll go hard to the basket and they need his muscle out there. But it's a chance for the like now Simpson, Kuiper always stands up, and the other big man in Matty Alexander to get out there and do the job.
14-4 is the score. 8:45 left in the first quarter. And boy, it's certainly been an amazing start from the Falcons. Have not missed a shot. 100% shooting 44 from the field this year. Supercats shooting 46. And although I should say that there are a couple of Falcons that are actually shooting 100% from the foul shot line, Tony Jensen and Terry Dozier, two that haven't missed all year from the line. Boy, I had no idea they could do it from the field as well. What do you know? We can only pray, though, that Grant Kruger's knee is only a flesh wound I could say, though, although I'm not an expert in this department at all, that it didn't look as bad as, say, Paul Kuiper's a couple of years ago. There was no kneecap hanging out or anything. So we trust it. He'll be back on the court very soon. No one likes to see those injuries. Turnover. Derek Rucker again goes all the way to the bucket, and it's in.
8 from 8.
Well, I wonder what the statistics will show about the Falcons' percentages and the best start to a game ever. I can't recall them going 8 from 8 before.
I can't recall anyone going 8 from 8 before. They go inside this time and they get crunched. Cecil Exum complains, but he gets no joy from the referee. Let's have a look now. We've gone into the dressing sheds now. And there with the handlers. Ice goes straight onto the knee. You see that cut there?
Yeah, well, the knee obviously looks to be intact, but I don't know whether any ligaments have been damaged underneath there.
That cut's much worse than we thought. There's another one for Paul Kuiper as we watch the game.
We'll keep you up to date, definitely, with the injury to Grant Kruger and get back to you soon. In the meantime, there's some fouling, number 20 for the Falcons, and that'll be on Matthew Alexander, who's coming to replace Grant Kruger. It's 18-4, just under 8 minutes left in the quarter now, and the Geelong Supercats really have to start doing something. Everett Stevens, perhaps he's the man to do it. He couldn't make that one. Paul Kuiper almost not knowing what to do with the ball. For a minute there, he thought he was going to have to dribble it way back into enemy territory. Derek Rucker now.
There'll be no problem for Paul, Terry. He's a great ball handler. There's no doubt about that. He'd love it. Bit of between the leg stuff around the back. But
and the long one. Oh, that's an air ball. There you go. Well, now it's 8 from 9. So the 100% record has been tarnished just a little bit, but wasn't it so tremendous? Cecil Exum fakes. No, tremendous D.
There's some defense in there, all right. It's traffic and it's heavy. So Matt Alexander in singlet number 20's out there now, the big fellow. And he's got a real job to do in replacing. Oh, and he just stands his ground and forces the travel. And again, the Supercats, they complain and complain bitterly. But again, Cecil, the violation, and they come away with it, the Falcons. So Alexander on that occasion did supremely.
Fairly quiet start from Adrian Branch, I thought, at this stage. How did you see him playing so far? Just finding his feet?
Haven't sighted him yet. He's taken a couple of outside shots which haven't dropped. Derek Rucker, though, goes straight by him and gets it inside. Kuiper over the top, and Derek Rucker, the assist king of the NBL. He's wearing the crown supremely.
Top scorer, too, for the Falcons, averaging 27 a game. Terry Dozier is averaging 24. And there they are, just getting a bit of anaesthetic into that cut so they can stitch it up. This is not good television at all. My goodness. Oh, my
it's pretty nasty.
I hope you've had your dinner before your supper before you tune in.
Well, that is Grant Kruger, who was injured early up as Adrian Branch misses that shot. But hopefully that is all the injury is. Superficial. I mean, it's pretty deep and pretty nasty, but it's a sort of thing that you'd imagine he might recover from within a couple of weeks. You'd at least hope so, but we'll get more on that at quarter time.
He certainly doesn't look to be a happy boy here. He's in a fair bit of pain. It's not good at all. And Adrian Branch cannot take it from the line. And it's still 20-4, the Falcons. Mike Johnson. And that's a three-pointer. The Newcastle Falcons can hardly do anything wrong. Vince Hinchin, Everett Stevens. Cecil Exum off to Ray Borner. Takes the 2, and it's not dropping for the Supercats tonight. Derek Rucker. Terry Dozier comes inside. The assist to Kuiper. There's a travel. Well, an amazed look on Paul Kuiper's face. And Roger Shields getting an earful from Tom Wisman as well for an explanation. And there's a timeout there. They go into the huddle, and it's 23-4, Newcastle Falcons. A great start over the Geelong Supercats. 6 minutes left in the quarter. Let's hear what Jim Calvin has to say, if we can, in the huddle, to see what he's going to do to get back into this game.
every time down the floor. Short jumpers, no charges, crowd's into it now. We still got 3 timeouts left. They get 6 in a row, we'll take them now and then just to calm the thing down. You're going to be all right. Keep taking the shot.
And there it is, Jim Calvin in the huddle. It's a timeout. And at the moment, with 6 minutes left, the Falcons 23, Supercats 4.
Themselves here tonight in Newcastle, 23-4. The locals lead the Geelong Supercats, and some more good news. I'm a bit of a mug. I thought that was a fairly serious injury, but I'm told from the message from Dr. Andrew McDonald, the Falcons doctor here, is that it doesn't appear to be internal. It is that very, very nasty cut, which obviously is going to keep him out for some time, but there's no serious internal damage. So if there is good news, that's that. But it did look pretty nasty. And there's Ray Borner going hard to the hoop to make it 23-6. And we're just 6 minutes into the game. So they're scoring at breakneck pace, the Falcons.
Well, that certainly is good news. No one on any team likes to see an injury, no matter how minimal or serious, to any player. And it's been a blow to the Falcons tonight. Let's hope they can recover for their sake, and that indeed Grant Kruger won't be long out of the game. 25-6. Great shot, Paul Kuiper. Ray Borner away now. He finds Cecil Exum, Adrian Branch. Some big, strong defense there from the big centre, 0-0, Paul Kuiper. Derek Rucker comes back with it now. So the turnover, the shot was sort of a shot anyway. They couldn't quite get to the bucket.
And Derek Rucker, the point guard, looks like he's on a mission. He's thrown a couple of great assists, and he's really giving it to Everett Stevens here tonight. So the points go early to Derek Rucker, and the rebound goes to Matt Alexander. Here's Rucker again. Let's see what he can do. He holds it up. They've got a fresh 30-second clock, and they'll run their stuff.
Terry Dozier now. He stands for the jump shot, and it's in. That's worth 2. Terry Dozier just asking for the foul on the arm. It was a big no call from the referees. Ray Borner now.
I thought he might have been just feeling that arm there, because it's white hot.
You're not wrong. Fouls. And the Newcastle Falcons, pretty strong defense tonight. It's one of the things they've really been working on, and there it is. A bit of a shove in the back from 0-0 Paul Kuiper. 27-6. Tremendous start. I mean, we might have to go to the record book here to see what sort of scores the Falcons have kept their opponents to in the first quarter. This is an all-time low one. Supercats. And it's in. Cecil Exum managing to get some points back there.
Cecil Exum again at the line, trying to bridge this. It's turning out to be a pretty huge gap. Well, he's got it back from 20 to just 19. We've only played 8 minutes. It's been some sort of start. So they go up and try a little pressure D now. So Vince Hinch should go up there and take them on. He's down with Alexander. Just the one substitution made so far by the Falcons, a 4th substitution. Grant Kruger out of this game with an injured knee. They get it off the boards quickly. There he goes, he's missed one. Into Borner, he ought to score from there, he will. Turns around, left hand, spin underneath, and very clever play from number 15 for Geelong, Australian centre.
Well, I can tell you that the least points by a team against the Falcons scored in a quarter was in 1987, and that was Illawarra. It was 10 points in a quarter. And Geelong Supercats now have 10 points. So they still have 3.5 minutes left to beat that rather dubious record, but it's yes, pretty messy stuff under the basket. Matty Alexander goes to the line. Tony Jensen's on, former Townsville Suns sharpshooter.
And he's the sort of guy who'll really enjoy this game. They're getting up and down quickly. There's a lot of scoring going on, particularly from the gentleman in the white singlets. And Alexander really stood up there, made a tough basket, and then really made them pay for the foul on the shot. Takes it out by 20 points. We're just 9 minutes into the game. Here's Branch now, goes for the drive. He's great on that left hand. Running jumper there. And makes good. So Derek Rucker just waits for his buddy to come on down. Number 20 getting across the picture there and into the offense. Alexander doing up his shoelace. Here's Tony Jensen now with Vince Hinchin. The job on him. Alexander takes up a lot of space, sets a good screen there. They work around now. Let's watch for some magic from Rucker. Great ball. And the push goes against, I think, Paul Kuiper. Let's just check it with the referee, John Payne. It is 0-0, so he's tacking a few up here. He has 2 fouls early and takes a break now. Marty McLean comes in. So a real running 5 out there now for the Falcons, a real speed machine. Tony Jensen, Derek Rucker and Marty McLean. Watch these guys fly, backed up by Terry Dozier and Matt Alexander. Let's see what the Supercats can do. They've been rattled by this blazing start. There's a good drive there by Vince Hinchin.
Yes, he's called out on Marty McLean, but it was way before the shot. So it'll be a side ball, I would think. No, it's not, is it? Oh, it's 1-on-1, of course.
Backed up a few fouls with a physical style of play. Kruger has 2, but of course, if you've just joined us, he's out of the game with an injured knee. Has a very nasty cut across the top. And Paul Kuiper sits with 2. Alexander's done well since he's come into the game. 30 points to 13, 3 minutes out from quarter time.
And there's only 2:45 left in the quarter. Marty McLean now on to Terry Dozier. Derek Rucker, who's played the most minutes of all in the NBL. He rarely sits down on the bench, this guy. And they're hot tonight, 32-13. What a start.
He is something. He just uses his body movement to drag them away from the other man in the lane.
Tony Jensen.
Here we go, Terry Dozier. Oh, I think he would have dunked it. They raced across there and just managed to stop it. Vince Hinchin.
It's too big. Ray Borner really flinging that one. I tell you what, I think Justin Cass was lucky to get a hand to it. It was a tall pass, that one. 34-13, 2 minutes 10 left in the quarter. Derek Rucker bringing it back. He'll be enjoying this. He's having a tremendous night. Marty McLean enjoying the scrap as well. Tony Jensen goes left. And at this turnover by Everett Stevens, he dunks it. And he's an opposition player, but a fairly warm reception from the dunking king. Here it is. The crowd's seen him do it so often in Falcons colours. Ironically, last year, one of the things Everett Stevens wanted to cut down out of his game was turnovers. This year he's done that, and he's picking up some steals.
Well, it's an all-new Falcons. The bench here, as we just see Matt Alexander go hard, and they almost tackle him there. Not much doubt about that foul. He'll get a couple of shots. But the Falcons bench has been up on its feet. There they are. They're sitting down and relaxing now in this short break in play. And Tom Wisman is stalking the line. And it's been such a good start that any mistake is sending Tom's blood pressure through the roof. And we saw, of course, an error there. The turnover from Marty McLean. And boy, if looks could kill, Marty would be dead. But it's about the only mistake the Falcons have made in the first quarter. And it's 35-15. They still hold it by 20.
Well, this is a fairly big margin to be taking into quarter time. 1:30, 90 seconds left in the quarter. 35-15. The Falcons are up by 20. Any team would like to have a 20-point buffer going into quarter time. Everett with the assist.
Justin Cass was a great shot from outside, and they needed that. They've got a speedy 3 out there too, with Justin Cass, Simon Curl and Everett Stevens to match the 3-guard rotation of the Falcons. So it's a good battle. Some real quicks out there. Terry Dozier, well, he beat them outside, goes hard. Exum's in there, and through comes Matt Alexander, who really is letting everyone know he's out there tonight. Been very impressed.
Well, he has to fill the shoes of Grant Kruger, and he's got to do some tough stuff if he's going to do that. It's a physical game tonight. 35-17.
Young journeyman here, Simon Curl. And Simon, congratulations, 100 games tonight. And I'm sure that'll be watching up there in Brisbane. Will be pretty proud. Young man's done well in the league. Tony Jensen looks in, switches hands, lays it in left. So they really get out and run. That's the way they like to play it.
Plenty of commitment from the Falcons bench tonight. And on court, they're running into attack and they're running back to defense. Curl.
Makes a nice cut. I was watching him then. He did well.
Strong D, and that'll be on Tony Jensen.
They didn't react or rotate, but they did help, and there's the foul.
Simon Curl will go to the line.
Pretty good defense there from Tony Jensen to get over and help out there after the Falcons were beaten at the top 37-17, and we're 20 seconds out from quarter time after just an amazing start from the Falcons. The 2 weeks off has done them no harm, and that's good news for Dennis Kibble, because a couple of days on the golf course has really worked wonders. They might go back. That will please the manager. Simon Curl makes that one 37-18. Can't make the second, and Derek Rucker will bring it away for just one shot, and they'll see whether they can't go in 21 points ahead if they can make two here.
Derek Rucker now. Man on a mission. Everett Stevens shadows him. He gets around him, but
so what?
Big D. Everett Stevens back. And the assist for Vince Hinchin couldn't make it. And that's it. Quarter time. How do you like that? What a start from the Falcons. That's tremendous. Good to see Grant Kruger back off the bench with that knee bandaged up, but he's okay. He probably won't take any further part tonight, but he's back on the bench, and that's good news for all concerned. So there it is at quarter time at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. The Falcons 37, Geelong Supercats 18. Of the lemon squash, none other than Costa Zoo, who will be fighting Angel Hernandez here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre on Monday night. And here's Tony Jensen. And the assistant, Terry Dozier, who lays it in. And helping the Falcons get away to a 37-18 lead in the first quarter. And this is the start of the second quarter. And the local crowd in raptures. The Supercat bench just a little bit stunned at this stage. And the tip off, there it goes. Pinball comes Falcons' way. Derek Rucker comes back with it now. How'd you see the first quarter, Greg?
Well, I thought the Falcons were just tremendous, and the Supercats have tended to struggle. There's Adrian Branch with the ball now. Good news from the Falcons camp on Grant Kruger. No internal damage. A very deep cut just below his right knee. Has taken 5 stitches to seal. He won't take any further part in this game, but he'll be back next week. And there's a good shot inside. Vince Hinchin goes and makes it, draws the foul and has another crack at it. So a good job there from Geelong, and they need to score. Hit just about everything, because the Falcons in that first quarter shot 17 from 22 for the floor at 77%. A sensational clip, whereas the visitors under extreme pressure 7 from 18 for 39%. But they've started off here well, and it's now 37-21.
Well, that's a tremendous start from the Falcons, but that quarter's over now. That's only a platform for the rest of the game. We saw the Falcons come back from 21 down against Adelaide to almost snatch a win. Geelong certainly capable of it. And the travel called again from Matty Alexander. Everett Stevens. There's Marty McLean and Tony Jensen on him. Manages to get away quite easily. Vince Hinchin underneath. And plenty of fouls. And that'll be Adrian Branch going to the line. Jim Calvin there just watching the action. The coach of the Supercats gets around Rucker.
That was a lovely ball inside. Great vision down Adrian Branch.
Wasn't it?
2 chances here to draw a little closer. 37-21. 11 minutes out from half-time. Leading scorers in that first quarter for the Falcons were Kuiper with 10 and Dozier 8, so they were really getting inside well. Rucker, the couple of assists there, both of them memorable, and he had 8 points, while for Geelong so far, Borna has 6 and Cecil Exum 4, but Adrian Branch will now be getting on that score sheet, ticking over to 37-22. It's the Falcons leading the way.
We have to remember, of course, that the Geelong Supercats went down heavily to the Gold Coast Rollers last night. Carrara. And it's been spilled. It's gone over the sideline. It'll still be a Falcons ball. And so Geelong Supercats, already having suffered one loss on the road, will be keen to win tonight. But this isn't the start they were hoping for at all. The Falcons have just totally dominated. Tony Jensen. Vince Hinchin on him. Tony Jensen trying to get around, couldn't do it, but he's drawn the foul. That will be Vince Hinchin. So Tony Jensen there, pat on the back. He did the right thing. Tries to get around. You can see Vince really just getting in his way. And a pretty good call and good play too from Jensen, who now goes to the line. 37-22. And that one's in from the Riverina boy. (39-22). Newcastle Falcons. Ray Borner. Vince Hinchin, the jump shot.
Good defense from Mike
Derek
Johnson.
Rucker and Vince Hinchin trying to stop him. Tony Jensen, and that'll be probably Everett Stevens.
Sure will. Went up after Tony Jensen. Wasn't going to allow that one. Hit him with everything. And Tony Jensen goes back to the line, and he's shooting just sensationally from the line this year. In fact, he hasn't missed a shot. 100% from the line so far in 1994. Let's see whether he can keep it going over 3 games. This is the 4th game for the Falcons, and he keeps that record intact. Not the guy you want to foul, although I guess you can do it when he's going for a layup, because he's going to make that anyway. But here's Jensen now protecting that record.
Yes, and the longer the record continues, the more he's going to sweat over each shot. And well done. Keeps it going 100%. Unbelievably, there are 9 players in the NBL that have not missed from the line this year.
Well, the Falcons now putting on a trap, and they're trying to double team. First of all, in the front court as Geelong try to get it out, and then they'll try a secondary trap around halfway. And that time they forced the turnover. A lot of pressure from the Falcons, and their trap worked well on that occasion. And they've got to try and combat that. If they do get it away quickly, they'll score. But right now they went right up after the big dunk.
Well,
and he didn't make it, but it looked good.
And he's asking the question, how can you miss a dunk? And I think he was asking the referee, but that's fish and chip paper. Now, what a steal! Tony Jensen takes it off Everett Stevens and lays it off now for Mike Johnson, who goes way over the top for Derek Rucker, who comes inside. And this time the foul has been called, and Paul Kuiper, with a stern look on his face, says, "Thank you at last, referee."
Boy, Derek Rucker, let's just watch this guy play. Little fake, goes round, goes between 2 and just rolls it off down to Kuiper, who couldn't make it because he was bashed on the way to the basket. That was Adrian Branch there who draws the foul. He only has the 1. So it was well used, and Paul Kuiper's hitting from the line pretty impressively. So the Falcons really making the Geelong Supercats pay for every error. And that one doesn't drop.
I think the Falcons have been doing some sharp shooting practice over the 2 weeks they've had off. A lot of court time.
Well, it's a pretty tough one for Paul Kuiper.
Mike Johnson comes away with it, and that's okay. Derek Rucker comes down with it, and he just slows it up. There's no need to hurry. It's 42-22 with 9 minutes left in the half. Newcastle Falcons seeming to do it easily, hanging on to that 20-point lead. What a... Whoop. And Paul Kuiper again not getting the shot away.
Oh, lovely play that time from Adrian Branch. Got down inside. Good ball security, and he made it well. And I've just been watching Everett Stevens here, who knows the Falcons offense pretty well as we see that one go down, and he's just cheating on them everywhere. He knows exactly where his opposite number's going, and he beats him to the spot. Can be risky if they decide to go back door, but why go anywhere when Derek Rucker's going to ping from outside? Down it go, the charge as well.
They're going the charge, I think. Referee Roger Shields has picked up Everett Stevens.
So not much going right here for the Supercats. It's 45-24, and they're doing it very nicely. So whatever scouting Everett's done for Geelong just ain't working tonight, because the Falcons are really sorting them right out here.
Tom Wisman seems fairly calm at this stage. It's 45-24, 21-point lead. And Derek Rucker's walking. He's really setting things up. The more they hang on to this lead, the more you'll see his game intelligence and skill come to the fore. He really is directing traffic well tonight. Terry Dozier, Mike Johnson way out for 3. Oh. Well, they can do very little wrong tonight, the Newcastle Falcons. And, well, 2 shots now missed. The Falcons come away with it, and the Supercats can't make the drop. Another 3-pointer.
Oh, there it goes, and the arms go up in triumph. Derek Rucker. They're all pumped up here at the Entertainment Centre in Newcastle.
It's high fives all round. Have a look at that. It's high fives all around from the guys. They're on fire tonight, and the crowd loves it. Second quarter, still 7:45 left in it, and the Falcons 51, Supercats 24.
Doing a good job taking advantage by basket. Nailing it away now.
We got 1 play pop. Who'd you have? Dozier? Okay, you're going to be out on Terry now. He'll take you out the outside now. He's willing to shoot it out there. So make sure he gets up on it.
It's going to be a play-by-play proposition to get back into it, so let's keep doing what we're doing. Just keep working it.
Finish up strong at the end of the half now. Finish up strong.
Finish strong. Finish strong.
Well, there it is, 54-30. Jim Calvin doing his best to tell the guys how to get back into this game. And they certainly have the talent, on paper at least. But this is a road trip. They've played one already this weekend. And I hate to remind them, they'll probably even tire in the last quarter.
Perhaps. Let's have a look at the D now. They're matching up again.
Mike Johnson. Tony Jensen. Everett on him. You see Everett's left Derek Rucker alone now.
How do you get that away? Tony Jensen looked to be in all sorts of trouble.
Adrian Branch. He goes right to the bucket. He gets the 2, 57-32. Derek Rucker. Just wait to see if Everett stays on him. He will. I think Everett's basically following whoever's going to take the shot at the moment.
Well, Adrian Branch now starting to come into the game. He's really starting to hurt the Falcons with his drive to the middle. He's really taken it strongly. We saw one really nice cut a few moments ago. Then that drive. Here's Rucker trying to respond. Gets the ball away. Magnificent pass. Just too good. Big Simpson puts it in number 54. And he'll enjoy that. Wouldn't you love to play with Derek Rucker? He beats Leonard and he's just too quick for the big fellow. Goes back inside. Then dishes as he comes to Ray Borner. Draws the defence. He committed him. And at the other end, they do the same. Go down hard. Vince Hinchin on the baseline, a good shot. So plenty of life in the game, but 59-34. Boy, that's a big lead for the Falcons.
I know, and Derek Rucker can hurt you in so many ways. He always looks like he's about to shoot. And at the last minute, the assist, and there's someone free under the bucket. Oh, that's a strong play. It's a block. That's a block on Steve Leonard.
Let's have a look at Leonard. Well, he gets there. No, it's a fair call. Copped it from all over the place. So Simpson will go to the line. He makes one. He'll get one more.
And Simpson has every bit as much height under the basket as Ray Borner. So the Falcons doing them for height.
Couldn't make it, but Jensen is a hustle machine. He gets down on the floor with Ray Borner, who rolls over him in back play. But let's get back to the game at hand as Everett Stevens goes round. Oh, brilliant stuff, Mike Johnson. Give this 2 points to Michael Johnson. Sensational play on the rebound. All in one movement. He went up, he picked it off and threw it out. That was magic stuff to Derek Rucker, who looks up the court and finds Jensen, who'd been left lamenting under the hoop at the other end. And he has the last laugh, Tony Jensen.
He didn't have to get back. He was sitting there all by himself.
Well, that's as good a rebound and outlet as you'll ever see from the veteran the experienced Mike Johnson.
13 years with the Falcons now.
Yeah, it's veteran status. Oh,
great block, Everett Stevens. And
is he going to get it back? Rucker. Oh, genius
Look at
stuff.
this. Derek Rucker.
Putting on a show, Rucker. Make it, Mike.
Oh.
Give the crowd a thrill.
Have a look at that. Derek Rucker. Oh, the play of the week. Tremendous ball skills from Derek Rucker. And there's the three from Mike Johnson, 66-36. It's a 30-point break now.
Oh, well, Derek, come retirement, there's always the Harlem Globetrotters. That's fantastic stuff. At the other end, though, we get back to it and find Everett Stevens in singlet number 7 doing his best to keep his side at least competitive. Goes in hard. He'll get a couple of shots, but look at that scoreline now. They've really put the slipper in here in Newcastle, 66-36, and the Geelong Supercats, well, they're incurring the wrath of the Falcons for those 3 losses. They're getting square with everyone here tonight, the Falcons.
Simon Curl, Ray Borner.
Oh! Can he do it again? No.
He manages to make up for the earlier error and take the points anyway. 25, Steve Lenarden gets a couple. 28-point lead to the Falcons.
A lot of minutes here for Terry Dozier tonight. Won't do him any harm, but he looks as though he's struggling just to shade his foul inside there as Rucker goes to the line. 66-38 is the score, but Terry Dozier coming back from his knee injury. The couple of weeks off won't have done him any harm, as we see Rucker just weave a passage through and draw the foul. But for Dozier, it's important minutes for him. He's getting fitter by the minute, and in a couple of weeks, I should imagine he'll be right at his peak again. Just looks a little bit weary right now, though. I think he's finding it a little tough out there, and the coach is keeping him on the job because he really wants to put this one away. And at 67-38, Rucker can make it. What's that, an even what? I can't even count.
That's 30.
That's 30. Even 30.
Well, Terry Dozier is obviously just trying to run all of that injury out of his knee, I suppose. I mean, goodness knows they don't need him out there at the moment. I mean, 30-point lead, and we'd be... Tom could give just about everyone on the roster a run tonight.
Oh, it's a great shooter from outside. Sets himself and straight over the top of Dozier.
And if those start dropping, it won't take long until the Falcons will be needing Dozier in the starting five.
Well, clever stuff, isn't it? The Falcons are just opening these guys right up. There's just one pass, look downstairs, and they've got a cutter charging to the basket. Everyone's getting busy on this score sheet, and 70-41 is the scoreline. World record pace here, the Falcons. 140-point pace.
Everett Stevens, the fadeaway jumper. And it's in, very smooth. Nicely done, Everett.
Here it comes. He just backs away. Clever play because Dozier had done a good job there in help, and it's swish for Everett Stevens.
Well, there's 30 seconds left, and it's 70-43, and it's a pretty high-scoring game from the Falcons' point of view. In fact, if they scored another 8 points, they'd be into the records, because 78 points and a half would be into the top 10 of all-time highest halftime scores by the Falcons. So that shows you what sort of a half they've had. Just about everything's dropped for them. Everett Stevens, he's looking at the clock. 15 seconds, 10 seconds left in the half. He's going to take one more shot. Outside, Simon Curl fakes. He's inside. No, he doesn't. Ray Borner makes it. And that'll be half-time. The Newcastle Falcons 70 over the Geelong Supercats 45. What did you make of that half?
Well, just a great start. They really did get out of the blocks, the Falcons. They came here determined to play. A lot of determination, commitment, intensity. They had it all. And even though they're leading 70-45, the coach is still finding something to complain about. Not certainly about his players, but just the official call there felt that they should have been allowed to take the ball and have a last shot with a second to go. It wasn't to be. And it's Newcastle 70, Geelong 45.
We'll be interested to have a look at the stats. We'll do that in just a minute. Stay with us. Half-time here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre, and the NBL Mitsubishi matchup between the Newcastle Falcons and the Geelong Supercats. Well, we didn't expect this scoreline at half-time. How's it going?
Well, they're just putting on a tremendous show here, the Newcastle Falcons. Their shooting percentages are just extraordinary. Let's take a look at some of these stats here tonight. They're really turning it on, the Falcons. At 68% from the field, they, of course, lead 70-45. 75% of their free throws are going down. Look at that three-point percentage at 54%. You can see the Supercats are paling 49% from the field and only 25% from three-point land. But I think, Terry, the big stat here is Derek Rucker's assists. He has 13 for the game so far. If he can just kick on and get another 7, he'll equal the record. If he could nail 8 and take it to 21, then he will be the all-time leading assist getter in one game in the NBL history.
Yeah. And that won't be that hard to do for Derek Rucker. One of the things that you see when you watch him play is that he looks like he's going to score all the time, but at the last minute he just lets the ball go. And not only that, his tremendous ball handling skills when he's on the court is something to behold. He's just such a tremendous player. MVP in 1990. In fact, there was one shot earlier in the game. If you have a look at this, he's on his feet, on his backside actually, feet in the air, and he keeps the ball alive by dribbling it. Look at people diving all around him, and they hit the ground and he's away. That's just absolutely tremendous play from Derek Rucker, and he has tremendous ball security, and he is setting up the points for the other players. He makes the other guys look good, doesn't he? That's the thing about him.
He does, absolutely. As far as Geelong goes, well, they're struggling. They need to toughen up their defence. Look to Adrian Branch. His penetration, really the only thing that's hurting the Falcons.
Well, there it is, 70-45 at half-time. The Geelong Supercats can get into this game. It's going to be tough. We'll see how they go in just a minute. TV. Welcome back to the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. And the Falcons ready to continue the onslaught, 70-45. And Jim Calvin, having spoken to his troops, will be saying, we are not going to lose this game by 20 or even 30 points. We're going to get back into it. How will they do it, Greg? That's the question. How do they do it?
Need to really toughen up that D and stop these guys just taking it in. It's just too easy down there at that end. And Everett Stevens really needs to come alive. He's only taken 5 shots in the game. He makes that 6 for the game and goes down. It's clouted on the way.
And look at this bit of Pizza Hut pizza, the Lounge Lizards promotion. Have you seen this one?
I have seen it. I think it's fantastic. Those guys are just up, as you can see, behind the court. They get a fabulous replay from NRTV.
Yeah, we're looking down the barrel there of what they see the whole time.
Looking good, guys. Looking very comfortable.
All with the compliments of Pizza Hut. So if you eat at your nearest Pizza Hut, you never know. You could be a lounge lizard here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre.
We could call the game from there. Wouldn't be a bad thing.
Well, mate, the conditions there look considerably more comfy than they do down here, I can tell you.
Might put on a little bit of condition, though, with the pizzas. But, well, Everett Stevens kicks his score along. And the Geelong Supercats, 70-48. Let's see what the men in blue can do. Vince Hinchin. They try to trap, but they just flick it over the top, Derek Rucker. So they can put some defensive pressure in here. Oh, look, Mike Johnson just
as far out as you like.
Yeah, flying away here, plenty of confidence.
Vince Hinchin comes back. He has Adrian Branch inside. The left-hander, he's tremendous. He can take it to the bucket on either side. And I don't suppose he's really come alive the way he would like tonight, but potentially a tremendous player.
They've reeled off the first 5 points, the Supercats, and that's something that the Newcastle Brains Trust would not be appreciating here, because it's hard when you're out that far to keep it going. And I know they would have been demanding a lot of intensity at the start of this half to make sure they keep on the roll. Let's see whether Dozier can get them back into business. He can't, but certainly big 0-0 Paul Kuiper can, and he gets them rolling again. It's 72-50, a 22-point break, and reaching in the foul is called against Derek Rucker.
Well, that's his first foul of the evening, and when you consider he has had so much action tonight, that's a tremendous effort in itself not to have fouled at all. And he's been in just about everything. He's been on the court the whole time. In fact, he at the start of this round led the NBL in minutes played, and such an integral part of the Falcons team. I might add Everett Stevens is right behind him there too. Minutes played. Right across the court, Marty McLean on the sideline. He's put a foot over the sideline.
Marty McLean's only been in for a second. Now, Coach Tom Wisman saw something he didn't like for Matt Alexander and pulled him straight out of the game after a minute. And so in there now goes Marty McLean. He's forced one turnover, but missed that one, unfortunately. The foot over the line as they go hard to the basket. Hinchin can't make it.
Well, you've got to stand in the court if you want to play, don't you?
That's right. Ray Borner going after it there, but it comes away with White. The Falcons, 72-50. Just a minute or so into the second half here at the Entertainment Centre in Newcastle, and they won't want to let this one drop. There'll be a royal commission if they do.
Well, they'll be hoping for something like the start they got on the first quarter here in the third, but it hasn't quite happened. They've already missed a couple. And how about that guy? Hey, this time he does take it to the bucket. 74-50, 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Comes off the left hand there. Just gets around everybody.
Yeah. Played a great two-man game with Paul Kuiper, who was lurking. Kuiper again in defence, forces the air ball. And away they come again. It's with Rucker. Try and count his assist for you as he goes in.
There's an assist.
That's one. So he's up to 14 now as he chases this record of 21. We'll keep you posted. 76-50.
He just joined us. If you've just joined us, the Newcastle Falcons have started a tremendous night. They lost Grant Kruger earlier with a dreadful knee injury, although he should be back soon as Paul Kuiper puts another 2 in. And that's another assist there. There's Grant Kruger there with the 5 stitches in the knee already, but no permanent damage, if I could say as such. You know how bad knee injuries can get. And they've just gone from strength to strength. 78-52 now.
Vince Hinchin down on the baseline, but the Supercats do look a weary outfit. And are hiding to nothing here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Newcastle on a mission, the big crowd in. An absolutely incredible start, and they are really firing.
Well, they're just proving basically that they are nothing like the second worst team in the league, as their position on the ladder would suggest. It does a real injustice to them. And they won't be after tonight. 78-52, 8:45 as Terry Dozier goes to the line.
They're going to rack up some big numbers in this game, aren't they? 80 points if Dozier can make this already, and we're just into the second half. This could be anything unless Geelong can find some way to put the stops on the juggernaut.
You can see Everett and Derrick in the background having a chat and a bit of a smile. They're good mates. Both been around a fair while in the game. Ray Borner, Terry Dozier all over him, and he gets the steal. He's going straight to the bucket. The assist behind the back. Did you see that? Well, it was a great effort. It came unstuck. Have a look at this. Behind the back to Marty McLean. Whoa, there you are. And Ray Borner equal to the task. Well done. He had it stolen, and he caused the turnover again.
Big Ray saving the embarrassment there.
Some great games have been played here, but this one's a classic. Derek Rucker. Yet again.
Well, I imagine
82-52.
I imagine the Newcastle stats men will put that down as assist, but I put it down to Marty McLean's tough job. And there's plenty of action here now, plenty of debate over this call. Let's get it from John Payne.
Well, he's called it on Cecil Exum. And Cecil standing there on the line, he thought he was going to the bucket. Geelong Supercats, Adrian Branch, very heavy D under the bucket. Paul Kuiper gets a smack in the nose. And it's 82-52, 8 minutes left. I think there's still some debate going on amongst the referees over who that foul was on. The early one that we called on Cecil Exum, that was certainly the number that referee Roger Shields called out. I'm having a bit of trouble working out from the bench which one it really is. I think they've corrected it. That's the main thing. Adrian Branch. He gets it back to try again. Tom Wisman there. He's watching the action. Players down his end of the court. Branch puts it in. Terry Dozier just hobbling a little bit on that knee. Just seems to be favouring it a little bit. I hope it's not going to recur. I'll warm up that injury. Getting plenty of minutes tonight. That's the main thing. Adrian Branch comes away with it, gives it now to Everett, has Marty McLean on him, and that's And he's called it Newcastle's way.
Fine defensive effort to see Marty McLean come from behind, nice and clean.
Oh, it's off the knee. That was a good call too, wasn't it?
Sure was. Dozier, it's with Rucker now. Looks inside, kicks it out to Mike Johnson. Marty McLean, fade away, won't go. And Branch picks it off pretty quickly now. They get down in the open court with Stevens, just flicks it inside. They need something and they get it from Cecil Exum. And number 7. Here he goes. Let's have a look at him. Everett Stevens. Neat, wasn't it? Very slick indeed.
Very classy, very subtle.
2-3. Zone defense now they're trying on this team. Giving that appearance anyway as Paul Kuiper doesn't worry, just muscles in there. And very, very strong.
6:45 left in the third quarter here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Everett Stevens couldn't quite make it.
Nice putback though, wasn't it? Good job from Cecil Exum. Got in there amongst the Falcons. He flew. The Falcons didn't. Reaps the reward of 84-57. A long way back, isn't it, for the Geelong Supercats tonight?
Although they are starting to put in the big ones and the crowd has quietened down a little bit. And that's the sort of thing that will get them back into the game, although there's a long way to go yet. Marty McLean just spilling the ball again down the sideline. Here it is, just a basic take. Gone a little awry. Derek Rucker gets around Vince Hedgen. And he has Everett Stevens. The assist to Mike Johnson. And that's number 16. Assists for Derek Rucker. And there's some fouls. Mike Johnson admits to that one. And Cecil Exum will go to the line. He has 2 to come. Here it is. 86-57. And we have a timeout. And in the third quarter with 6 minutes left, the Newcastle Falcons way out in front here. 86-57. Back in a minute. At the Newcastle Entertainment Centre, let's hear what Tom Wisman has to say to the Falcons.
Half that wing, this guy cuts hard and this guy comes up. We look for one of those options and then this guy up, inside out to the other side, okay? Next time they do that, let's have a...
high, so that ball finishes low.
Okay? Now, when we run it offensively, free layups, okay, with the high-low, the middle's open, run it with the high-low. Run it with the high-low and just take care of it. Don't get in a hurry on offense, but we take the break and we take the quicks. Okay, we take the quicks. Go ahead and look, have a purpose. When they rush, have a purpose. You got that guy and that guy comes. Okay? Come on,
So Geelong showing the Falcons a 2-3 zone defense, and Tom Wisman there just getting his guys to go to the gaps, because whenever you play a zone there are going to be gaps.
The old 23D. And interesting to see Marty McLean getting plenty of minutes tonight, being rewarded for his excellence as a rule. Come up with a couple of mistakes, but as a rule has shown that he's right up there with them. Cecil Exum can't make that one. He's got one more to come. And that's 2 gone. The Falcons 86 over the Supercats 57. There's the scene that confronts Derek Rucker as he tries to weaves his way through the D. Adrian Branch, you can see.
Matching up now because Ray Bourne is right out there, and puts pressure on.
Done it, the turnover. And there's Cecil Exum now. Back to Everett, who just cuts inside. The assist, Adrian Branch couldn't make it.
So they're mixing up the defense now at Geelong, and they managed to come up with that play. Here he goes. Derek Rucker just slides through the middle, looks outside, finds Dozier. Kuiper's done a big job inside tonight. He's been very hard to stop. And Marty McLean will go in there and scrap all night. But again, it's the Supercats out in the open court now. This is Everett Stevens. Stevens shoots and makes it.
Just getting back to Marty McLean, you'll see under his right eye he's copped a very nasty finger cut after that last effort. He did quite well too. He really tried to come up with a strong rebound. Just got in a bit of a tussle there. A nasty gash under his eye. It's a physical game tonight, isn't it?
Yes, they've sure done some damage to these Falcons tonight. We've got Marty McLean now sitting there on the end of the bench, and he's being treated by the club doctor, who's really earning his money. I think he's on an honorary capacity, so it's not a lot of money, but he's down there, Andrew, and he's working now on Marty McLean. He's been opened up here. They're spilling blood for the club tonight, the Falcons. 89-60, of course, early on it was the unfortunate Grant Kruger who opened up a cut on his knee.
89-60 here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. It's a 29-point lead to the Newcastle Falcons. Derek Rucker takes the three. Whoosh. Let's have a look at that, and he was way out there. Tremendous stuff. 92-60, and the Falcons have just been averaging around 95, 96 points a game this year, and they're there already with 4 left in the third quarter.
Here goes Rucker, hard to the basket, and tough defense from the Falcons here now. Made a few changes, the Supercats, as we see the attention there to the eye of Marty McLean, but now we've got Jason Joins, the ex-Newcastle Falcon, out there, and also giving the guys a breather is Simon Curl. So a change in personnel as Jim Calvin, the Geelong coach, looks for something to spark the side. He's getting belted in there, Borna. They really are putting it on him. And again, they force the turnover from Borna and put it down to Terry Dozier, who's really getting stuck in there. The score might be 91-60, but these guys are going right after it. And that time it was Simpson, 54, who does the job. And Calvin doesn't like it. I mean, his guys are really getting hammered underneath.
Well, they're giving as good as they get too, but on the scoreboard, the Falcons are coming away with the game 91-60 for all the heavy stuff. And there's Simon Curl there with the foul. For all the heavy stuff, it's the Falcons that are on the bench getting stitched up.
A pretty crude foul that time from Simon Curl in singlet number 42. Sean Dennis is going to get a run here. Haven't seen much of Sean, another seasoned campaigner. The crowd loves him here. He's been around for a long time.
He's very faithful to the club too, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Loves Newcastle.
He can shoot the three too. To shoot the rock. See whether he can knock a couple down for his team as Dozier goes hard. Just can't finish, and Borna getting a little bit of his own back there.
Everett, baseline. It's a high one. Very nicely done.
The loopy hoopy from Everett Stevens.
Very nicely done.
Stuff would drive you crazy if you weren't ahead by 30. 91-62 Falcons, and Sean Dennis has it. Swings it round now to Terry Dozier. Still got Derek Rucker out there looking for the record number of assists in a game of basketball in the National League. He's got the ball now. They double to him. Tony Jensen takes 2 steps, finger roll left hand, fine move. They try to come out of it quickly, but the hooter sounds and substitutions will be made. And Cecil Exum will come back into the game as we see Tony Jensen there, showing plenty of skill, just slides past Ray Borna and makes it 93-62.
3 minutes left, 3 minutes 10 seconds left in the third quarter here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Cecil Exum stops, pops back to Everett Stevens. Simon Curl takes the three, and that's nicely done indeed. He doesn't get the applause it probably deserves from the rather parochial Newcastle crowd.
And Tony Jensen, who was supposed to be looking after him, cops a spray from the sideline and admits to the coach, yeah, it was me. I'm sorry about that, Tom. Here's Sean Dennis. Come on, Sean. Yeah, no problem. Straight over Simon Curl. Down it goes. The number 4's on the scoreboard. And now he's going after Curl. Oh, pretty crude too. Swung the right arm around the outside. And Simon Curl, they'll take the ball from the side, I think. Oh, no, it's 5 fouls. 5 fouls on the Falcons this quarter. Gives them a 1-and-1 opportunity now. If he makes the first, he'll get the second from the line. The charity stripe, and the Falcons just 5 points out now from the magic 100. Going for the century as Tom Wisman stalks the sideline. Simon Curl loads up and knocks it down, keeping this steady 30-point break, which is not an easy thing to do. And makes the second as well.
So the Newcastle Falcons at 95, Geelong Supercats 67. And there was a 25-point lead at half-time, and with 2:20 left in the third quarter, Tom Wisman would be fairly pleased that they've just managed to hang on to that and indeed improve it just a bit. Now that's a... Well, made amends, Paul Simpson, for the miss. Fairly simple miss, just damages his stats a little bit. The main thing is the points went in for the Falcons.
Getting a request here from Dave Ankeny, the Newcastle coach. How many assisters we have? Well, David, before you go, does that one count? He missed the shot. It should count, but it doesn't. He's got 16.
Yeah,
he's got 16 assists. That we can confirm, maybe 17.
Our eye on him. This is record stuff here. Of course, we're not the official. That'll be goaltending. That's pretty simple stuff.
Now, I'm being a bit hard here with Derek Rucker's assist because we don't have the official score, but I'm not giving him anything, so we took that one away from him. We believe he has certainly 16 that you could count on, and he needs just another 5 to break the record, and he knows it too.
Yes, he'd be well aware.
Dave Ankeny, the assistant coach, is joining in the commentary team here. He wants him to make it. Let go down, no. The tip back, no, and they come off. Men in the blue singlets.
97-69 here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre.
Great move, Sean.
1 minute 58 left in the third quarter. Referee's just discussing the finer points of tonight's game. 97-69. Geelong Supercats, through Jim Calvin, the coach, just discussing with referee John Payne what's been happening. They're appeased, and the game shall continue.
Assists,
97-69. Newcastle Falcons scoring plenty of points tonight. But as the game winds on, all eyes on Derek Rucker and his assists. He needs 21 for the all-time NBL record. Tony Jensen.
And the crowd's enjoying it. They're looking pretty calm there as we see Everett Stevens go to the line. Watch Tony Jensen. Well, that was not a foul on the replay. It's quite clear. Didn't touch him. If it was a foul, it was the softest foul we've ever seen in the history of the NBL.
Everett doesn't mind. He's on the line. Makes it 97-70. 27-point lead. So the Geelong Supercats just trying to get back to what it was at half-time before they then try and improve on it somewhat. It's been a tough game for them, a tough road trip, and the Falcons are not making it easy for them tonight.
They extend the defence now, but it's broken so easily by Newcastle. It's in Rucker's hands. He's not looking to score at all. He's just looking to find one of his buddies underneath in the clear for an easy shot. It's with Sean Dennis now. Rucker goes low, 10-second buzzer goes, just 7 seconds left to get the shot away. Sean Dennis goes in, kicks it out to Rucker. Now he'll look to score. No, he doesn't. Kicks it out. Can he make it? No. On the fly, Vince Hinchin looked at alley-oop chance. Oh, he's buried underneath. Probably did just a little bit too much there.
Well, it looked pretty good at first, didn't it?
Paul Simpson actually stopped him, and I think he went right on with it. Let's have a look. Oh, well, he's just going to clean him up, wasn't he? He just buried him. And you can see referee Kevin Marsh stick that fist up pretty quickly. And there's the big fellow.
Mike Johnson comes off the bench again. And Derek Rucker takes his seat for the first time tonight.
The Rucker just taking a break now. He'll have this minute off, and then he'll have the 2 minutes for the three-quarter time break and come out nice and fresh and go looking for that elusive 5 assists, which will take him to the top of the ladder. It's Vince Hinchin on the line, 97-72. Still a long way down the Supercats. They cut it back a little.
Derek Rucker on the bench there, just watching the final stages of the third quarter go. 1 minute left in it, 97-73. Sean Dennis now, Behind the back, bit of everything. Off the foot, he's got it back again. And Simpson down on the baseline. And Tony Jensen tried. Simon Curl comes away with the rebound. Been a nice play after all that. 97-73. 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Simon Curl and Tony Jensen. Tony Jensen's in no hurry. I don't know what Simon Curl is doing, but he thought he was going to take the last shot. I can tell you Tony Jensen will. And there it is. 2 seconds left in the quarter, and Cecil Exum takes the final one. Couldn't make it. And so the Falcons have 99 points at half-time. Supercats 73. At three-quarter time, I should say. 99-73 at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. We'll be back in a minute for the final quarter. Welcome back to the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. 99-73 at the start of the fourth quarter. And I can tell you that we're keeping our eyes on Derek Rucker. He'll probably take to the court in just a minute to see if he can break the all-time record of assists held by Robert Rose at 20, and that was taken last year, I might add. With a whole quarter to go, Derek Rucker has 19 at the moment. There's Tony Jensen, who scored the final points. He was in a bit of a scrap there, as you can see, with Simon Curl. Took the ball away, and off he went, down court. You can see Vince Hinchin there in front of him. Inside him, up and up. And he has a quick look at the scoreboard, and he saw there was only 5 seconds left in it. So at the start of the fourth quarter.
Right, 99-73. They're going to run up some big numbers, and the percentage will certainly improve. And if Geelong happen to be level with the Falcons at the end of the season in 8th place, well, the Falcons will certainly go through, because they're going to score a very big win here, as long as they hold it together. Here's Tony Jensen now. Turns around, looks at the jumper. Here's Rucker. He's going to shoot himself, and in and out. Little tackle in there from Paul Simpson, and he acknowledges the foul.
Paul Simpson there racking up another foul. Probably didn't need to do that one. As Derek Rucker tries for the three, couldn't quite make it. You can see here the ball's gone, and he's still hanging on there. Thought he was grabbing the ball, couldn't see. And away we go. Cecil Exum. And this time the foul has been called on Derek Rucker.
No real chance of him getting fouled out here. He only has 3 for the game. Hands reaching in. Not a lot in that.
(99-73). Foul called there on Paul Simpson again, who has 4.
He sure has been busy, hasn't he? He's been beating up these Geelong Supercats. Been all over them. Hasn't played a lot of minutes, but he's done plenty of damage. But you've got to say that in the damage stakes, well, boy, haven't Newcastle take some punishment with earlier on Grant Kruger, a nasty cut just below his right knee. And then Marty McLean, who hasn't been sighted since he was clouded over the, or just underneath the eye, and opened up a cut that Kostya Zoo, who fights here on Monday night, would be trying to avoid, I'm sure. So they're on 99, the Falcons. Can they tick it over and make it the century?
Well, here's the man that will be probably most responsible tonight. He's made the others look good. He has 19 assists already. Paul Simpson inside to Terry Dozier. And there's another 2. 101-75. They led by 25 at half-time. Kept that and more at three-quarter time. And they still have it. Paul Simpson comes away with a rebound. Supercats unable.
Look for Mike Johnson. He picks it off, goes underneath and gets... It's gone, so we count that. He'll go to the line. If he can make one, we'll count it. It was a great pass. It was just a terrific ball. Down it goes, so we'll tack that one on. That'll make it 20.
There's Kostazu in the stands there, watching the action.
Got it.
And there it is.
Equals the record, we believe, for assists. But I think he's going to burn away with it.
103.75. Plenty of time there for Vince Hitchin. And the Geelong Supercats doing their best. But the Falcons just not letting up. Mike Johnson off to Terry Dozier.
Yes.
And it's 105.77. Everett Stevens bringing the ball back as we see Terry Dozier here with the jump shot. Didn't look in all the way. Adrian Branch gets away from Dozier. Everett Stevens comes up with the rebound, tries it round the corner to Ray Borner. And good skills too from Derek Rucker, and plenty of time for Mike Johnson. Well, it's becoming easier for the Falcons, if anything. 107.77. Hinchin to Cecil Exum to Ray Borner, who gets in underneath. 3 seconds called on the Geelong Supercats. And it was on Adrian Branch. John Payne just keeping count there. 107.77. 9:45 left in the game.
So here's Derek Rucker now with the ball. He'll take it up, and they're really getting out in the open court now, the Falcons. They are enjoying this night out. That's a huge lead. They look for Rucker in the corner. He gets double teamed back to Dozier. Kick it around. Can't make that one, though. And really, they're just sort of going through the motions here, aren't they, Geelong? They're doing their best to stay with it, but it's difficult when you're so far down on the back end of a road trip. Rucker, what can he do here? He looks for Jensen, who's smiling. Takes it himself. Can't make it. Look at Jensen hustle on the boards. He's got it back. Rucker wants that ball in his hand. He calls fist. Let's see what they do here.
Well, the Newcastle Falcons have been scoring 99 points a game. A turnover, Everett Stevens, and is this the dunk?
Well, he knew what was coming. He knew the play, and he just took it out. Looks over at the Falcons bench and said, "Hey, remember Tom and I was here last year? That was my play."
the little tomahawk dunk. Have a look at it. Everett Stevens
strolls down to the basket and hoops it. At the other end, Tony Jensen's on the fly. And off Derek Rucker. He makes it.
That should be it.
That ought to be Derek Rucker's 21st assist of the game. He looks back and gives him a hand. So we believe he's broken the record now of 20 assists. That'll be 21, beating the record of Robert Rose, Shane Heal and Casey Jones.
And the crowd just rising to the fact now that Derek Rucker's broken the record.
And he makes a three-pointer of it, and they bow to the great man Derek Rucker. Well, he really has been a buy, and we certainly haven't seen the best of him, not by a long shot. He's going to be around in this team for quite a while this season. I think the team will be too under his leadership. They're going to be hard to beat, even though they look like going just 1-3 inside. Easy stuff for Vince Hinchin. They will score more wins than losses, I reckon, this year. 110-81 with 8 minutes to go. He's going to really give him something to chase, Terry, isn't he? He's going to keep on piling on these assists.
Well, he's broken the record, but boy, he is going to set a new mark. I mean, this is going to be some record to be broken in the future. 110-81. Newcastle Falcons doing it by 29 at this stage.
Here's Justin Cass now. Takes it up against Mike Johnson. They go up and double. Nice round the back pass. All the skills from Ray Borner, but they can't finish. Tony Jensen. They're getting all over him, aren't they, in defence? They're managing to maintain this very hefty lead of 30-odd points. It's 31 at the moment. Well, actually 29. Can't count.
Just under 8 minutes left in the game. And it's always a bad sign when you just start talking about by how much and which records we're going to break. So to be fair to Geelong, we must say that there is some chance of them pulling the score back. It's 110-82.
Point number 18,
The Newcastle Entertainment Centre crowd packed Happy to see a tremendous display from the Falcons, and in particular one man, Derek Rucker. And look at that three.
There's another one from Rucker. Here he goes now, out 22. Oh, Lenarden travelled. They all scream for it on the bench. Rucker goes in with the hands and fouls Ray Borner. And no one can understand how the travel wasn't called. You got 3 referees out there, but that's the way it goes. You just cop it sweet. But unfortunately for Derek Rucker, he picks up his 3rd foul.
Ray Borner goes to the line. 7:30 left in the game. 113.83. It's up to 30 points.
All-round bad luck for Ray Borner. One of my putts, mate.
I think you get 1.5.
He makes the second one. 113-84 now. And the crowd here, well, they're seeing a fairly lopsided contest, but are they enjoying it? They love to see their team get out in front, rule the roost, and wheel and deal, and they're sure getting that tonight. As they go, Dozier spins round, takes a stand-up jumper, and it's all net from Terry Dozier.
And Lenarden, no idea then. As the ball was given to Dozier by Rucker, he turned around and looked at the basket.
Rucker.
They've forced the turnover again. The Falcons, look at this, 4-on-1, unbelievable. Simpson gets it.
4-on-1, what's the betting there?
Someone had to get it. 117.84, and the Geelong Supercats really are tiring. It's been a tough weekend.
1-1 now for Everett Stevens. 117-84. It's going to be a very big win. Tom said, well, here we go. More injuries now. I think he's probably copped the... what's the technical name for the funny bone, mate? The funny bone, isn't it?
Yes, that is accepted medical terminology, I'm led to believe. 17.84.
The Albona humerus. I don't know what it's called, but it's hurting him. He ain't laughing. Well, he sort of is.
It's exactly what he said, actually. I could just hear him say it in his funny bone. So it's a good call from my man. 117.85, 6:45 left in the game here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Everett Stevens. He's pretty good from the line.
This game does really show up, doesn't it, the benefit of your home court, because it was only a matter of a couple. Derek Rucker can't make it. Only a matter of a couple of weeks ago. The down in Geelong. The men in blue actually got away with a very good win, 8 points over Newcastle. The Chargers court, so nothing going right for Geelong tonight. But it shows we're going to have something like a 40 or 50 point turnaround in the space of 2 weeks. And difficult to play at the arena where Geelong does play well, but they've come here tonight, the second half of their road trip, and found things very difficult against a Newcastle team absolutely on a mission. Jim Galvin, he's arguing the toss and says if that was a charge, and I'll turn it up. And inside, that could have been a foul too. Terry Dozier can't understand it, but it'll be ball from the side for the Falcons, and Dozier's complaining. So the referees have just got to keep it going here and keep playing, even though the game for all intents and purposes is over. They've got to keep things under control.
So here's the man, Derek Rucker. And this time the foul's been called in the background. It's a Falcons ball from the side, 117.86. There's 6 minutes 10 left in this game. You'd have to say the Newcastle Falcons making more of their home court advantage than the Geelong Supercats did. They let the Falcons score 102 points.
Oh, there it is. That was a fabulous pass from Derek Rucker. The unofficial count, 23 assists, but none better than that. He's put it on Kuiper's chest, 1 foot from the bucket. And you're just not going to miss those. 119.86. They fly the Falcons. They're off to the races again. Rucker, he beats them all. He spears down the court. They look for the alley-oop. He goes back. He finds, Alexander for 2. Sensational. Let's make another one.
Number
24. Are they ever going to beat this record? The night out for D. Rucker at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre, letting everyone know that he is back in the country. If they didn't know already, and Ray Borner knocks down a 3 just to settle things down here and take some of the emotion and the heat out of the game.
Well, with 5:20 left in the game, it's 121.89. Terry Dozier goes baseline.
And is buried.
And some heavy fouls. We've taken photographers out here and everything, and he's happy. Not that guy.
Hey, he's got a great shot. Might win an award. Did he get the shot off in time? That's the question.
Let's have a look. Keep your eye on the photographer. That's the main thing.
I saw a flash there. We might see that at the end of the year. Could well be the NBL photograph of the year if he had the courage to take it.
He's saying, hang on, did I have film in that or not?
I'd be ducking and weaving. Terry Dozier coming at you at 100 mile an hour. 121 to 89. 5 minutes out. It's going to be a big score for the Falcons, and the whoosh goes up. And this may be a one-sided affair, but the Newcastle crowd with the arms in the air, listen for the whoosh. They're enjoying it.
Well, this will do the Newcastle Falcons end-of-season chances wonderful news. 99 points they've averaged so far this season. They're already at 123. Tom Wisman not happy with Borna even getting that shot away. Derek Rucker manages to come away with it. What will happen this time? The assist.
Oh, yeah. Let him have it. Oh, he's called the charge against Rucker. I thought he was pretty well balanced up, but obviously the defence is there. Let's have a look. Ah, yes, they're in plenty of time. It was a good play, wasn't it, from Justin Cass? He really got in the lane there and prevented what was going to be obviously a dish from the good player.
Who were those two good-looking women?
From Channel 10 in Sydney, I do believe, from the basketball programs. Saturday and Sunday basketball, and I'm sure we might catch a little bit of this in the program, which will be screened later on today on NRT.
123-91, 4:30 left in the game.
Justine and Donna.
Jensen, the assist. Alexander, strong defence from Borna, but I think there'll be two on the line here.
Gee, I think Geelong would just like to go home. So they're making some substitutions, and they are wholesale. Let's take a break as they make those subs. 4 minutes left in this game. 123 to 92. The Falcons all over the Supercats.
And we heard the whoosh from the crowd, but it didn't go in.
They're whooshing.
Premature.
They're whooshing for anything.
No. They're still whooshing. I think they've just got used to it. That's what's happened. Adrian Branch now. He goes right to the bucket.
Adrian Branch.
It's 123-94.
Well, Branch is still battling it out till the bitter end as a timeout is taken for the Falcons at 123 points to 94 in this fourth quarter. Well, Branch has just been sort of swallowed up, hasn't he, by the Falcons. He played well in the first half, but they just haven't been able to get it together against the Falcons side, which has just been relentless. And look at Tom Wisman now. Have a go at this.
You're not out there playing any kind of defense right now. You're not even worried about whether they score or not. We gave a 90-point defense to go. That's gone. And the way you're playing right now, they're going to get 100. Now we take that seriously. Get your defensive intensity picked up.
But he's not happy at all, is he, about the way that particularly Adrian Branch just strolled to the basket.
Yes, well, Terry Dozier, who you see on screen there, was running alongside of him, and Wisman saying, get back, go harder. It's difficult, isn't it, when you're up by 30, 4 minutes out. But Wisman knows that 4 minutes is quite a long time and wouldn't like to see it all unravel and perhaps then knock over 15 points and take it back to a respectable scoreline. He wants to make sure that they go away from this game with a very, very big win. As we see the feathers out there, enjoying their night. And looking good to do.
But I think Tom Wisman makes a good point in that just because you're up by 30 points, there's no reason to drop all those things that you practice all during the week. They don't want them to score. They wouldn't just care if they scored no points. You know, they don't want them to score. Well, they've got to find that fine line, I guess, between, you know, hitting fouls because the D's too strong and just letting them stroll to the basket. Tony Jensen inside to Alexander, and it was a travel. There'll be no score. 123-94.
Yes, the Falcons will be back here again next week. They've got the Townsville Suns, another game that they ought to win and get themselves on a nice roll then. If they can make it 2 on the trot, then they'll carry confidence into some of the tougher games. But he really wants to make sure they go right on with it. And there's some hustle. Derek Rucker around the outside now. And down it goes. Nice shot from Simon Curl. 123.96. So the Supercats continue to just hang on in there with 3.5 minutes to go.
Alexander just lack of ball security there. You can hear Tom Wisman probably through your TV. What about the fouls? Derek Rucker now. Simon Curl just shadowing him a little bit. Derek Rucker. The all-time record assist tonight. That's an air ball from Tony Jensen. Terry Dozier picks it up though. Still can't do it. Simon Curl comes away with it, and Kuiper just gets a hand in there, slows the play down.
Yeah, they really have taken advantage of their big men tonight. Kuiper's had a very strong game on the boards, and Alexander's done a good job in the absence of the injured Grant Kruger. So they've got to say their big men have really been dominant. Once they get inside, they've been virtually unstoppable, and they've been given great service by Rucker. So that Rucker's done the right thing, and whereas in the first game against Adelaide here a few weeks ago they didn't finish, tonight they really have finished well. Right now though, the defence is just easing up a shade, and fine move inside by Justin Cass, takes it right to the basket, makes two, and he'll get another one. Paul Kuiper really had a crack at him.
And referee Roger Shields just asking for a substitution and actually telling the Geelong bench you need to sub off. Cecil Exum has come up with a bit of an ankle injury. We saw Everett Stevens there.
Yeah.
But no, I think Glenarden's coming on.
Well, they weren't breaking. They had to get back on the court. Everett wasn't throwing off the towel and ready to get out there, was he? I think they've had enough.
Look at him. Head in the hands. It's not a happy return to the Newcastle Entertainment Centre for Everett. Justin Cass.
No, it was always going to be a difficult task for Geelong, having beaten Newcastle and then coming here knowing that these guys were hell-bent on avenging that defeat. After 3 losses as well, Newcastle just had to win this game, and they will do it. There it is. And Dozier can't make it. Inside goes Kuiper. They scramble for it. It's Alexander. Gets it out. Kuiper again. So they really are scrambling hard inside. 2.5 left. 123-99. Big win coming up for the Falcons, and they're just trying to finish this off with some panache. But it's getting a little bit scrappy.
Well, there's only 2:20 left in the game. It's 123-99. A 24-point lead, and they have basically held that same lead since half-time.
There's Tony Jensen on screen, and leaving the court is Paul Kuiper after a very, very big hand tonight. He has played strongly. Tony Jensen makes another from the line. He's had a good game too, Tony Jensen. Enjoys the ebb and flow of the open game. Really get out there. He's made some fine running jumpers and good moves to the basket, but he goes in and reaches. Says he didn't do it, but he sure did. It was captured pretty clearly there. Push and shove on the sideline. And Tony Jensen has 6 fouls, so it's bye-bye, Tony.
I can tell you he sort of looked up at the scoreboard in a little bit of disbelief. I think that came upon him quite quick. But it's certainly there. 6 fouls, Tony Jensen, and he's out. And we'll see him in action again next Friday night against the Townsville Suns. And won't that be interesting for him to match up against his old team? But tonight the story is all Derek Rucker, really. He has just broken the NBL's all-time assist record, and he already leads the NBL in assists, averaging 12 a game. And he's more than doubled that tonight.
He's done quite a job, and he's also scored fairly freely as well, as they have a chat there. John Payne and Mike Johnson just exchanging pleasantries. See you in the bar after the game, Mike. Well, it'll be your shout. Out of my face, Red. See ya.
Very experienced campaigner, both of them actually, been around a while. 25-99. It's a 26-point lead for the Newcastle Falcons. And Geelong Supercats, incredibly, back on the court, ready to go. Hurry up, they say.
They just want to get out of here. Let's all go home and have a break.
In fact,
typical road trip, hasn't it?
Perhaps they don't mind if the bench turns the clock on right now while Simon Curl's shooting these. Unless that won't happen. 125-99. There's Jim Calvin, almost resigned to defeat, and heavily.
Another strong rebound from Matt Alexander. He's been solid all night. Sean Dennis gets his second run in this game. Rucker. He's an explosive player, Rucker, isn't he? He just moves and he can beat anyone in this league one-on-one.
But I mean, how is it for the Geelong Supercats to go on the doomsday double road trip, get beaten heavily, and have someone like Rucker break the record just so late in the road trip and come up with such a heavy game like this?
Popular figure Sean Dennis, and the crowd loves it as he hits the bottom of the net. And good work from Marty McLean too.
Down the other
back.
end.
Marty McLean, of course, playing with a cut eye as Adrian Branch makes a shot over the top. He's been a strong player, hasn't he, Adrian Branch?
19 points for Adrian Branch.
Just hasn't had enough around him to really make an impact in this game.
1 minute 40 left in the game. 128-101.
Well, if this man, Derek Rucker, had something to prove tonight against the man he replaced here in Newcastle, Everett Stevens, you've got to say he sure has done it, and he's vindicated the judgment, I guess, although there's a long way to go in the season, of Coach Tom Wiseman and his staff.
Everett Stevens, has done fairly well with the Geelong Supercats this season already. But here's the man of the moment.
Rattles to the bottom of the cylinder. 129-101. They've held this 30-point lead or around that 30 mark all night. Alexander is so strong and no score. It's called a travel as he came down and tried to balance up, just shuffle the feet.
And there's 90 seconds left in the game. It's 129-101. So the Falcons have let Geelong score as many points as Geelong did to the Falcons just a couple of games ago. But the Falcons exploded. High percentage shooting.
Yes, as you recall, Terry, they scored 9 from 9. Their first 9 shots went down. It was an amazing start. At half-time, as we see Justin Cash can't make it, at half-time they were shooting from the floor at something like 68%. Just an amazing shooting performance, and that's established a platform for a big win. Gets just a little scrappy here. Tech foul for Terry Dozier. Come on, ref. He's walking and stalking. Oh, it's on the bench. White bench, so it was against someone down there, either the coach or the bench. They were arguing the toss over the Marty McLean foul, so now it's going to be shots all round and ball from the side for Newcastle.
And there's 102 left in the game.
For Geelong. Correction.
Bit academic now. So Adrian Branch makes the first of 2. Still 5 team fouls each. So we could be on the line a fair bit here tonight.
Yes, they bring up Simon Curl. These are 2 for the technical foul. They'll also get the ball from the side. So plenty happening here. And look at Dozier and Johnny Payne. Still having a chat about this. Like to have a tape recorder in there. Oh dear. Should have left Adrian Branch on the line. Simon Curl misses. He was the selected shooter. What? And he misses them both.
Oh dear.
And the crowd roars.
Poor old. Don't you feel sorry for him? Never mind. I couldn't. I mean, he tried hard all night, and he gets to the line to take the tech fouls and misses them both. Well, that's when things aren't going well. They're not going well. Under a minute now. It's 129-102.
Sure, they can come out and hit the 3 or something, Simon. Oh, nice pass over the top, but over the top is what it was.
He's hit one of the corporate boxes. That's what he's hit.
Oh, and he's stringing this out, Tom Wiseman. He's really making these Falcons pay for that defeat down in Geelong. 50 seconds to go. And Tom Wiseman, I don't know what he's going to say here. Let's see whether we can join him.
A pig. Okay, run a pig, look for the quick option, and then play some tough defense, come back. All right, let's go. Come on.
He's coaching all the way home. He's just getting stuck right into Geelong here.
Terry Dozier's got a smile on his face. I thought they were going to start ordering pizzas and things then. No, yeah. He's just called a timeout just to stretch it out.
Yeah, just to let Geelong know that they're still smarting from that defeat. Now Geelong's waiting around.
Now Geelong playing the game. Jim Calvin's going to take all of the time out that he can. There's 50 seconds left in the game. And we're really getting some value for money here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Don't they look like they're just dying to get back out on the court? $129-102. How would you like to turn up at Geelong training come Monday?
I don't think you'll be too hard. They have battled hard, haven't they? They just got a Newcastle side white hot early, and once they got out of that big lead, well, in front of this crowd, they were never ever going to let that go. So it's called another timeout. It's going to say, okay, you're going to play that game. I'll play it too. And we're going to stand here. We're going to discuss our trip down to the famous Newcastle Brewery, what we're going to do after the game tonight. Then we're going to go and have a little bit of a quiet little drink and discuss the weekend. So this is the world's longest timeout. You guys got any left here? You want to take a timeout?
Well, the story of the night, really, I mean, like you can see, Jim Calvin, really nothing much going on down there. This is just a tit-for-tat timeout here. 129-102, we're really stretching it out. The crowd is sitting here. I mean, what can you say? 2 timeouts in a row, and I mean, the story of the night really is Derek Rucker, isn't it? Breaking the NBL all-time assist record. It was 20, held by Robert Rose, who set it last year. And Derek Rucker now has sat himself down in amongst the crowd, I think.
Okay, let's have a look at 1T Dozier. All smiles tonight. Terry Dozier. He's back from injury. He's looking strong now. Haven't seen the best of him this year. Going to get better. And the Falcons will be around there come playoff time. And that man will be happy.
Well, this isn't the most exciting finish we've ever seen to a game, would you say?
No, I wouldn't say. Although I do like Terry's set of... the
kiss he blew to us. 129-102. And I believe we have 10 guys back on the court. And away we go. Derek Rucker comes back with it.
Sure can't miss that smile, can you?
45 seconds left.
Oh, good. Oh, we're back playing, are we? Okay. Lenardon has the ball, and they call a timeout. And way to go, Jimmy. And the crowd now gives it to him. Well, I tell you what, Tom Wisman decided he was going to string it out. He called a timeout with 50 seconds to go, but Jim Calvin still had 2 left and said, look, if you're going to play this game and keep us out here, then we'll do it too.
And for the first time I've ever seen Tom Wisman in a timeout, he has told his players to stay on the court. That's the first time I've ever seen him say, don't come to the bench.
Yeah, well, the band's working overtime. The Falcons are in the huddle. They're having a bit of a chat. They're going to use up the whole 60 seconds, 50 seconds here. Tom Wisman's all smiles there. You can see the little grin there underneath. He knows he's charged. His new point guard has broken the NBL Assist record with, as we unofficially count, 24. But at the end of the game at our close, we'll let you know exactly what it is. He gets congratulations too from Marty McLean, who's come out with a cut eye.
There was Grant Kruger with the cut knee, the stitches, 5 stitches in the knee.
Yeah, it's been pretty willing out there, but it's been all the Falcons. They've simply outmuscled, haven't they, Geelong, who came here hoping, obviously, to get an even break and go home 3-3 for the season, but they'll go home 2-4. And really, it's been the strength of guys like Matt Alexander there, who had to come in and fill the breach for Kruger, who's done such a good job. And 00 Paul Kipe has been particularly strong, dunking the ball. I think he only missed 1 dunk. But it's been a good performance all round. And he's complaining there. He's saying, hey, he's holding me down. That's why I missed. So it's jovial time here, and he's got another one. How many timeouts has this guy got?
Oh, dear. Are they getting a bonus for the amount of timeouts they call?
Way to go. Jimmy Calvin there. He's setting a record for timeouts.
That's what it is.
That's the trifecta.
That's the 3rd timeout in a row that we've had.
Well, there's 30 seconds left, but we could be here till 3 in the morning. There's Kostya saying, gee, I hope I can put this Hernandez lights out before this.
I tell you what, though, if you were knocked to the ground, wouldn't you love to have this much counting going on in the ring on Monday night for Kostya?
Yeah.
There you are. He's being invited to a post-match function, perhaps, or there's a joke on a card. And Kostya's probably wondering what's going on here.
Let's do a preview of the fight while we're here, Terry. I know we're back now with Tom, but he's fighting a guy named Angel Hernandez, who says that Costa Zoo has the worst defence he's ever seen. Well, I think Costa might show him a bit of attack. Are we coming back to play? We sure are.
Well, at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre, the most curious finish to a game you ever did see. 3 timeouts in a row.
There was some play, and timeouts remaining, 0 on both sides.
We could have a referee's timeout, couldn't we, if something went wrong here?
No TV timeouts, though. Oh, they've all gone cold here. So no one gets hurt in the scrap in the last 30 seconds. Inside, Steve Lennard let him score. 129 to 104 is the score, but it's been comprehensive. Obviously, Jim Calvin was using those timeouts to try to get back into the game, but there was nothing left. 42, Simon Curl. He fouls. 2 shots coming up now for Derek Rucker. Well, 1 and 1. He'll make them both, though.
And so the clock stops again. 129-104. Tremendous victory for the Newcastle Falcons, who have racked up their biggest score of the season. And there is honestly yawning going on both benches, I can tell you.
Well, I think when Tom called the timeout with 50 seconds to go to string it out, that was just about the end for Jim. It's been a tough weekend on the road as Derek Rucker attempts the second, and he thought, I'm just not going to have this. I'm not going to have this Tom Wisman standing all over me. I'll call one. 10 seconds, counting down now as Adrian Branch goes to the hoop and finger rolls it over. It was a nice shot to finish. 4 seconds left. Derek Rucker, the man of the moment, comes down. He's just going to say, that's enough. Let's go home. That'll do us. And the Falcons win the contest 130 to 106, and Derek Rucker breaks the all-time National Basketball League assist record with an unofficial 24, but we'll check that from the statistician short.
Well, the game was notable for a number of reasons. Most importantly, Derek Rucker's record. The Falcons win the first game of the season for them. 130 to 106, their highest score of the season. They avenged that loss in Geelong. And we had 3 timeouts in a row, something I've never seen at the ball game, I can tell you that. I'll be interested to have a look at the statistics, and we'll do that in just a minute here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Well, what an interesting game we just saw. And how about those 3 timeouts in a row right at the end? Even the coaches niggling each other, I get the feeling. However, the story was Newcastle 130 to the Geelong Supercats 106, avenging that loss in the second round earlier this year. But really, the story of the night was Derek Rucker, who had 24 assists, and he broke Robert Rose's NBL record, which was set last year. So what a tremendous mark he has set. Man of the match, and he's with Greg Hendricks now.
Thanks, Terry. We're in the jubilant Newcastle dressing room. It's hard to get a word in edgeways here, but with me is the new assist king of the NBL, Derek Rucker. 24, Derek, and they were saying you're being a little bit selfish going after the assist tonight, but it was a great performance, and I suppose just the way the team started tonight, first up, got you off on a roll.
Yeah, we played good defense to start off the game. We established what type of tempo we wanted to play. Pushed the ball up the floor. We realized they played last night, so I thought they'd be a little bit tired, and it showed. They couldn't hang with us getting up and down the court. And I realized I knew I had about 16, 17 assists. I heard someone say it over the PA. I heard the PA announcer say I had 16, so I figured 5 more. I went to the bench and said I wanted to get the record. And Mike said, just keep passing me the ball. I said, okay.
No problem. And you had a little bit to prove out there too tonight, I guess, because your side had been beaten by Geelong, and of course Everett Stevens, the man you replaced there. Was that playing on your mind at all?
No, not really, because I know what type of player I am, and I think I'm the best player. When I go out on the court, that's just my attitude. I don't go out there thinking anybody's better than me. I go out there thinking I'm the best. So that really had nothing to do with it. I just went out and played my game, and I proved what type of player I am tonight.
And certainly all the people around you really put in. We saw in the first game against Adelaide, some of the big guys in the team were missing their shots, and tonight though they put them all in.
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't know. They make their shots, and it's just like the guys from the outside. Sometimes you miss your shots, but it just seems like they should be easier perhaps because they're closer to the basket. But I can understand them missing a couple here and there, just not too many.
Okay, and what about the Falcons from here though? You're in still well down on the table, but that's got to give the team a great boost.
Yeah, well, we're 1-3 now, but the league is so close right now. There are quite a few teams with 2 losses, so I don't think we're not in any panic situation. situation. We put a win up this Friday night against Townsville, then we go on the road. So you know, we're in a good situation. We lost 3 tough games we thought that we didn't win. Not that anybody went out and beat us. So you know, we're confident. We believe in ourselves, and we'll keep working from here.
Absolutely marvellous performance from Derek Rucker tonight. Congratulations, mate. That was just well, we were all glad we were here. I think. You see him? Winners are grinners.
You see that, Buck?
No doubt about it. There's a good feeling in the Newcastle dressing room at the moment. And how about that power of positive thinking? There must be something in that. Derek Rucker, when he takes to the court, believes he's the best on the court. And that's how the whole Newcastle team is taught. That's how they train, and that's how they're starting to play too. So congratulations to them. For Geelong, well, commiseration. But boy, that's a hard road trip, isn't it? A real doomsday double as they go up to the Gold Coast and then down to Newcastle, and 2 heavy defeats. And well, the match stats tell the story here. The Newcastle Falcons, 37-18, a lead by quarter time. And have a look at these stats. 70-45, a lead by 25 at half time. 99-73 at three-quarter time. And then the final score, 130-106. That's a 24-point victory. And they've been scoring average 99 points a game. And they did that by three-quarter time. That was tremendous. So as we go to the next set of stats, we can see here the Falcons shot 60% from the field, and they've been shooting on average 44% from the field this year. So that's a tremendous boost for them as opposed to 54 Supercats. 77-58 from the line, from 45-39 from the three-point area. That's okay from both teams, and so is the rebounding, pretty even. But look at the turnovers, 17 from the Newcastle to 22 by the Supercats. And now the next set of statistics we're going to see here at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre will tell the story of the individual scorers. Derek Rucker only shot 24 points, and I say only, even though he led the whole scoring. It was his the domination of his assists when you think he had 24 assists and scored the same number of points. A tremendous effort. Johnson 20, Tony Jensen 20, Dozier 20, and for the Supercats, Everett Stevens in his return to Newcastle 22, and Adrian Branch 22. So there it is, the Newcastle Falcons 130 over Geelong 106, and that game and all the rest. A comprehensive review you'll see later today on the weekend basketball, hosted by Bill Woods and Steve Carfino. That's on air from 12 noon later today until 2:30. And so there it is, a comprehensive victory by the Newcastle Falcons over the Geelong Supercats. I wouldn't like to know what Jim Calvin's going to say to his troops come Geelong training on Monday. And well, I don't know, it's a pretty sorry state of affairs for them, but still, it's over now and they must get on and continue on to the next round. Newcastle, however, will play Townsville Suns next Friday night, and we hope to have your company on Friday night as we come to you live from the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. Until then, on behalf of Greg Hendricks and all the team, this is Terry Allen saying good night.
This program was proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi, Nintendo, McDonald's and Reebok.